Couple lights on, cameras roll, time to break the mold. No more silence, every story's gotta be told. Truth in the air, no filter, no disguise. Real talk, real change, we open up your eyes. We got the voices that are changing the game. Fearless, unchained, calling our names. From the struggles to the rise, we expose, we ignite. No topic too deep when you step in the light. We got the answers, spotlight at your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep, breaking the silence. No secrets we keep. From the pain to the power, the lessons we learn. Voices of the people, let the fire burn. Dr. Donna, Dr. Laxley, leading the way, guiding the truth in a world full of gray. Experts, activists, voices untold. Everyday heroes with stories so bold. This is more than a show, it's a movement, a spark, illuminating shadows, bringing light to the dark. We got the voices that are changing, be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep, breaking the silence. No secrets we keep. Step into the spotlight, let your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep, breaking the silence. No secrets we keep. We got the voices, spotlight, let your truth be heard. Unfiltered conversations, every thought, every word. We challenge, we question, we dive in the deep, breaking the silence. No secrets we keep. And if you want the real, then tune in right now. We're breaking down walls, no backing down. One mic, one voice, one mission tonight. Step into the spotlight, let's get it right. Let's get it right. Head to the spotlight. Let's get it right. What do?
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to In the Spotlight this evening. This is your home of unfiltered conversations where real talk is what we do. And I am Donna Thompson.
I am Dr. Laxley, and together we are your moderators. What's cooking, Dr. Donna?
Oh, nothing much. It's a wonderful Thursday, I must say.
Okay, I wonder what makes it so wonderful. What is it that making it so wonderful?
Well, I think today I had a lot on my plate, but was able to accomplish, I guess, majority of the task.
Wow.
And I'm here above ground, and I'm here with everyone on the show this evening. So hey, that makes it awesome.
you had one of those days, huh? A human like day.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we have a amazing show tonight. We have a powerful guest who's coming on, and we'll bring her on real soon. But we're looking forward to an exciting, engaging conversation with her about her work and what she's doing, empowering women and just empowering people. Period.
Right.
She's doing an awesome job. But we have big things happening at a Collision with Purpose movement as well. We have some big things about to happen. We're going to make a major announcement tonight about 2026 outreach, big announcement tonight. And of course, over the weekend we did something where we participated in something, and we're going to show a video. And let's start with the video. I'm going to play a video, and then we'll talk a little bit about it after. So let's play the video, okay?
Okay, sure.
Jamaica. Small in size, colossal in spirit. From the baseline of reggae to the fire of our cuisine. From the soul of our art to the power of our people. Our influence reverberates across the globe. And here in Atlanta, the rhythm of Jamaica beats strong. But now, it's time to build a home, a permanent place that captures the essence of who we are. A Jamaican museum and cultural center that tells our story with pride, power, and purpose. Atlanta is home to thousands of Jamaicans, entrepreneurs, educators, artists, and dreamers. But there's no dedicated space where we can gather, educate, and preserve our legacy. That's why we're building the Jamaican Museum and Cultural Center, a vibrant sanctuary for heritage, history, and hope. Picture this. You step into a space alive with reggae beats and walls painted in green, black, and gold. Every room is a chapter. From the resilient Maroons to Marcus Garvey, from Miss Lou to Bob Marley. It's a place where history doesn't sit still, it dances.
We are building more than a structure. We are building a legacy, a space where every Jamaican, young and old, can walk in and feel seen, feel proud, and feel connected to our heritage.
This museum will be the heartbeat of our culture right here in Atlanta, a place where we honor the strength of our ancestors and light the path for our children's future.
We invite you to join us, because when we build this museum, we're not just telling our story, we're preserving it, amplifying it, and ensuring it lives on.
Support the vision, plant a seed, be part of history.
This museum will be a stage where our history stands tall, where my art finds its voice, its platform, and its lasting legacy.
This museum, overflowing with grandeur and rich history, is for our children. It's how we preserve who we are.
It's not just about history, it's about visibility. It's about putting our greatness on display for the world to witness.
This museum means we matter, that our culture, our voices, and our dreams have a place. It tells me that I belong and that where I come from is something to be proud of.
But to bring this vision to life, we need you. We're raising $10 million to build this landmark of legacy. Your donation isn't just a gift. It's a declaration that our story matters. This is more than bricks and walls. It's a living monument to resilience, unity, and cultural pride. It's our gift to the future and a beacon for all who long to feel the soul of Jamaica.
The heartbeat of Jamaica live in all of us. Let's make it echo through time. Let's build this together.
All right, so that is that. That is that. Big stuff happening there. What do you have to share about that?
Oh my gosh, I was so honored to be a part of the planning of this video to even the day of launching, right? Just, it was a humbling experience as well, but very honored to know that a group of individuals, strong individuals, see it fit to continue building our legacy, or Jamaican legacy, or heritage, and wanting to share that with the world. And just being a part of that experience was just an absolute great experience. And I encourage everyone to support us. It's definitely something that is very powerful and it's impactful, that is going to last for generations to come.
And I see we have the Museum and Cultural Center website they're on, and we ask that you post the link, the donation link in the comments. We'd appreciate that. And yes, it was a big event, and of course we had the opportunity, the privilege, I would say, to play a small part in this, and we'll continue to do so, because this is an important initiative. And I would suggest not just Jamaicans, but people from all over to support this initiative, right? So this is something that will make a difference for us as a people, not just Jamaicans, but people in general. All right, so we know we have a big show tonight and we have a guest. We don't want to keep her waiting. So let's take a quick break and bring her on. She's got a story and we want to hear her story, all right? So let's take a quick break and then we'll bring her on.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth, cause I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as He told me to pray, for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, He is in me. I am a bold kid, He loves me, standing firm on His word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because He is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor and I let His word blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
All right, welcome back to In the Spotlight. Dr. Donna, who do we have in the spotlight today?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So today in the spotlight, we are we're honored actually to have a remarkable leader in our community. And of course, she's a female. And she has really dedicated her life to empowering women and strengthening them within their communities, right? And that is always an awesome thing to do. But we have none other than Miss Sophia Holder with us this evening, and she is the president and CEO of United Barbadians in Georgia. And it's actually an organization that is committed to uplifting the Caribbean diaspora through culture, service, and civic engagement. And what a fitting evening to have her on when we just showed that video. Oh my goodness. So yes, so let's go ahead and welcome Ms. Holder to our platform this evening.
All right, let's bring on. Let's have at least some drum roll now.
Drum
Come on, let's give it
roll.
up, give it 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 up. And there she is.
Can you hear us? We can hear you. Okay, so
Okay.
for some
Right.
reason, let's see, she's not hearing us.
Right. So we're gonna ask her to log off and then log back on, and then we'll. So Sophie, if you can just log, if you can hear us. All right. While we're waiting for her to get going, Donna, let's do this. We have another announcement we want to make. All right. Want to make another announcement?
Okay.
Let's talk about that. So that's a big thing coming up.
All right. So this is our 2026 Kenya outreach that is coming up. Oh, I love that plane showing that we're flying somewhere. That is coming up in 2026. So yes, once again, we're doing our community outreach. We'll also be we're also going to have our conference. We're going to have our colloquium in Kenya in 2026. So this is a huge event as well that's coming up. And, once again, we're doing the same things like what we did on our last visit, which is, of course, doing the toilets for schools and sanitary towels. And we'll still have the food campaign, the food drive as well. So those are just some of the initiatives that we will be doing in the 2026 outreach. And of course, definitely bringing our colloquium, our conference to Kenya in May of next year. So tentatively, the date, it's actually May, the end of May of 2026 that we're looking at actually having our outreach. I think you're on mute, Doc.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just experiencing, or apologies, we're just experiencing a few little minor glitches, but we're all here. Hi, Sophia, can you hear us? I'm hearing some sound, but I'm not hearing.
All right, Donna. So let's get back to the outreach. All right. So we're looking to bring approximately 20 friends with us in this time. Last time we did it was what, 10?
Correct.
So this is a big undertaking, right? Big undertaking. So and I said friends because it's about bringing friends with us. When we travel to do purposeful work, we like to do it with friends, right? So that's what this is about. And share some of the initiatives that we're looking at doing. Please share that.
Yeah. So once again, some of the initiatives that we're looking at doing, it's definitely doing the toilet initiative again, because of course we know that at the schools, sanitation, it's a big thing that that they have at the school. So we're definitely doing more toilets when we go back, and also sanitary towels for the girls. That once again, it's a huge thing in Kenya. So we'll be doing the sanitary towels for the girls as well, and along with the food drive, because we found that visiting the orphanages, that really helped help the orphanages where they were able to supplement some of their the feeding for the children that's there. So they're just, three of the major initiatives that will be doing. Of course, when you're there, other things may pop up. So, there may be additional things that we potentially can undertake while we're there, but those are the three main things that we'll be doing. And those are pretty huge. You're on mute, Doc.
While work is our focus, we look to have fun as well. So it's not just work. What are we looking to do for tourism and entertainment?
So, of course, we will be having the conference. We'll definitely have our colloquium there. So that will be part of one of the things we'll be doing there. So we'll have engagement from the community, honoring community individuals, servant leaders in the community who they're working within their community. So we will have that will be taking place, and then our Kenya or book launch. So we'll be doing our book launch, of course, once again for if you're just hearing about it, for the our team members that traveled with us on this last trip, we're all writing a story on our experience, and we will be doing a book launch in Kenya based on our experiences, and sales from that will go towards future initiatives as well that we'll be doing to give back to the community. Fun, of course, we'll be visiting, probably more than likely we'll visit the safari. We'll visit, places that historical places. We'll be doing, some visit there. And currently we're planning on traveling to the other side of Kenya, onto the Mombasa side, so that we can have that full experience as well of the country.
All right. Right now, the way you're talking about Kenya, you make me want to pack up and go to Kenya. But let's get back to Miss Holder. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're loud and clear. Welcome.
Oh, great.
How are you doing? How are you? How are you doing?
I am well. Good evening, all. Good evening, Dr. Thompson. Nice
Good
to meet
evening.
you. Good evening. Good evening. I'm happy to be here. Glad we finally got the technical difficulties out the way.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. When you're dealing with live production, these things are likely to happen, right? Or can happen.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot to talk about tonight. We have quite a bit to talk about. But before we dive into your incredible work, can you take us back to your early life? What experiences, challenges, or influences shape the person, the woman, and leader that you are today?
My early life experience that really shaped me is growing up with my paternal grandmother. My mom and dad were teenage parents, and my mom lost her mom when she was about 12. So she didn't have a mother figure, understanding of raising kids. And my paternal grandmother took my mom and the kids in, and my dad, and she was the backbone of our family. And everything she did in the community was to give, right? And it was all about taking care of others. And she was a very strong woman, very strong leader. And I believe I take on a lot of her personality, a lot of her personality. And that is what really shaped me. My grandmother was a pillar in the community. In Barbados growing up, she made pudding and sauce on Saturdays. And the police department would come to our house. There was we had a shop where she would sell. And she would be that woman in there with the men growing up in the 70s, holding her full conversation, taking a shot of rum. She liked snuff, take her snuff, and she would hold her own in that arena. And my grandfather was older than my grandmother. And as he passed on in years, she was really the lead in the house. And she took care of everyone. She made sure we got food on the table. We had uniforms. We went to private school. My dad had 3 kids with my mom and my brother from another mother. And my grandmother would say, we're all brothers and sisters. And my brother's mom lived in the States at the time as my dad did as well. And we would get my brother every summer. He would come spend with us. She was a family woman. Everything about her, when she cooked to feed the neighborhood. Everyone stopped by. Oh, we going by Miss Holder, and you get some food. She always would feed you. If anyone in the neighborhood got into trouble, was having a hard time, I would go home. Like people bring home cats or dogs, I bring home people. Ma, this lady's having some trouble with her mother. Can she come stay with us? And she's going through things with the kids. And my grandmother would say yes. And we would take people in and they would stay for a while so they get on their feet and then they will move on. It has always just been a part of my life.
Mm.
Yes, that's me.
So, it's interesting that grandmother, when you're talking about us, right? Caribbean people from
Yes.
Africa, people, who look like us, grandmother always seems to play a major role. Is that your
Yes.
experience with that?
Yeah, grandmothers, they are, I mean, they are the pillar of our families.
Wow. And often when it's a grandmother who is strong and powerful, and when I say strong, I mean just got it going on, you see the ones that she raised tend to be like that as well. And that's what we're hearing here from Sophia. Mm.
And I'll say this, Dr. Laxley, that's so funny. My grandmother, if you see me the way who I am, it's so funny that we're having this conversation because you're really making me see it. Um, Growing up, she would say, "Come, Sophie, fix my hair." So she would fix her hair, and she never leave the house unless the hair was fixed. Either it was her hair or it was the wig, but she had to be dressed. Iron clothes. You fix. She was in the mirror. She was tall, right? And she stood tall, and she walked really tall and really proud. And that's how I carry myself to this day. She never. She was always about making sure she still presented as that woman while she did 50 million things
Mm.
and really ran it well respected in the community.
Awesome.
I
We're
give it all
grateful,
to
and
her.
we're grateful and we're thankful to your grandmother for what she did. And look at what you're doing now. And Dr. Donna?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely gives us valuable context about where your story actually began. You know, um, grandparents, grandmothers, they're powerful. And it definitely, let us kind of see how your purpose, the direction of your purpose, right? But
Yes.
Sophia, let me ask you. So your journey into uh, women's empowerment and the nonprofit leadership, it's very inspirational, and I see where it's intentional, right? What was the pivotal moment that helped you to discover the path of purpose?
The pivotal moments. I've had so many of those in life. I studied I studied rural development in Senegal, Africa. Spent a summer there. And while there, I read W.E. Du Bois' book, Souls of Black Folks. And just having that understanding of who we are, the walk, I call, being in the motherland, my visit to the door of no return. All of these things like have different imprints on me, right? And living here in the States, I taught social studies. And I remember there was a time back in the early 1900s when white women went to school, but they went to school to get the lecture up and find that great husband and then to teach the kids at home. Not that they went to school to, get the job or anything, but we understood that educating a woman, you educated a nation, a family. And I feel like in our Black community, we need more of that, right? of empowering our women, educating our women that they can educate our children so we can pass on our legacy. When you empower a woman, you empower a nation. And we deserve to be empowered. So all of those little things are the things that draw me here, right? Um, I always was a leader and I'm never one to have been a follower. So it was just a natural course of way for me to, I didn't even, sometimes I didn't know, I don't realize I'm leading. People just naturally, oh, follow. I'm just being me, taking my direction. You know, that's what I do.
A, a
That's how it worked out.
natural, a
And it worked out.
natural leader. You know,
Yes. I'll tell you, this is no, growing up in Barbados, on the playground, right? I would say, no, I don't want to play whatever game was playing. I just didn't feel like it. And then everyone else would say, oh, well, I'm not playing. Well, I never told anyone else not to. I just don't want to. Or I'm going to walk this way. And they're also and they'll just all walk with me. I just do me and people follow. It's not I don't say, come with me. It's not that way.
it's not that way.
No. Well, no, it is. But growing up, it just so happened naturally.
And you going to Senegal and having that experience, and of course growing up in Barbados, and you've been to different countries, so you have knowledge. You're informed. So along the way, you have carried many roles and responsibilities, of course, and each of them added another layer to your leadership. So as you wear many hats, you're an advocate, you're a life coach, you're a speaker, you're a transformational leader. How have your personal experiences influenced the way you empower people today?
My personal experiences. Well, each of those roles really are one, right? They really build on each other and play with each other. And my every step in my life, right, has led me to a space where I have experienced something that I want to share with the world, or I have learned a lesson that I would want to share with someone to help them learn that lesson, right? Um, grow, again, Growing up with my share traumas of everyone else, we all have our different layers of traumas, right? Uh, my mom being a teenage mother and growing up with my paternal grandmother. At some point as a child, that would register to me as abandonment, right? Not recognizing that I'm being placed in the best place for me. As a teenage mom, don't have the skill sets that I really needed. But as a child, I would not understand that. I registered connected from my caregiver as abandonment. So that's that experience, right? Then we grow up and we come up along in the islands in the 70s and the 80s, and a woman should be seen and not heard. I did not sit well with none of those things that we go through, right? The differences in relationships. I've held my own. I have always been such a hard-headed, determined person that I would go against the family's way. So at some point, my dad had to say, look, you will have to go on your own and do you. And I had to figure it out, right? And all of that allowed me to grow, right? And when I give coaching, leadership is from a personal experience of understanding, not just book theory. When I work with my moms, I can speak to them about that hardship of figuring out how are we going to pay the light bill today and manage these two kids while going back to school. You know, it's not just my book knowledge, it's my whole life experiences that allow me to be able to speak to people with an understanding, with a sense of empathy, and not with a highbrowness of it all. Because sometimes we get education, we go up and we forget who where the ground is, right? I try to stay as grounded as possible.
So education can play that role in your life, just push you off the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yes, you can get a little too high. And my grandmother would say, don't hang your hat where you can't reach it, right? So I always try to keep my life at a balance.
mhm, balance.
And I think when you're able to do so, in terms of giving back, especially with my ladies in my motherhood program. I mentor a lot of young ladies. And when I was growing up, I had a lot of mentors along the way, even when they didn't realize they were my mentors, right? I
Mm.
remember my mom's best friend's sister had two daughters, and they were about 5 or 6 years older than me. And Marlene was teaching at Miss Talika's private school, and she would read to us. And when she read the books, the way she spoke, she had a sense of eloquence to the way she spoke. And she would read a story, and it would come alive. And I was in awe. And one day I want to be able to do that, right?
Mhm,
Her sister Marvina, she went to school and became a doctor. And when we lived in New York, she took me to the city and she taught me how to shop and buy quality and eloquent clothes and shop in the right stores and the restaurants and how to carry myself as a lady. All along my life, different women came in and played
mhm,
different roles and taught me so much. It is just a natural thing for me to give it back to other young ladies and help them along the way. It's just natural.
mhm. How important is that, Dr. Donna?
Oh yeah, I mean that's, giving back. That's what it's all about. Definitely giving back. Um so with that, no wonder we're just going to move right into talking about, you know, the community impact, right? And or leadership in our community. So Sophia, we see your personal journey clearly has fueled your leadership, and it has turned your work that you're doing in really a magnificent community work that you're doing. So now let's talk about, you're the president and CEO of United Barbarians. Barbadians.
Barbadian.
Barbadians. I can't say barbarians. I don't even know
That's
what
okay. We got
Barbadians,
an
right?
award one time and it said that.
it, that is right here actually in Georgia. Um, so you've been instrumental in uplifting the Caribbean community through your through culture and service, and of course, we spoke about civic engagement. What does all of this mean to you personally to carry the mantle of leadership in this capacity?
Well, I didn't realize I was carrying this mantle. I, I didn't set out to carry this mantle. And now I have it, right? So I'm still learning to navigate that.
Hmm.
Uh, I love culture. I love my island of Barbados, right? And I love sharing our culture with others. I love learning other cultures. I think it's so important for us to celebrate our heritage and pass it on generations to generation. It should not die. It just should not. It's too beautiful to die. And when we came together and merged the two of celebrating our culture and then giving back to our community, it's just naturally, again, naturally who I am. And then it took on a life of its own, and I'm carrying this mantle. I'm just celebrating my culture. I'm just enjoying celebrating my culture, uplifting women, and doing that to the best of my ability, right? Just to the best of my ability. That's it. Yes.
Mhm.
Wow. Doc.
I'm listening to Sophia. She didn't ask for this mantle, but it's on her head. She's carrying it. She's carrying it. And I believe she's not doing it by herself. She's got support, but she's the leader, right? And with that comes responsibilities, right? So, Sophia, let's talk about challenges. Challenges that you face. What are some of the challenges that you're facing in carrying this organization and the work that you're doing? What are some of the challenges that you face?
Well, one of the biggest challenges I think as a woman leader is being a woman. I come from a culture where women should be seen and not heard, right? And you hear me and I speak up and I say no. And I can give my directives and I can stand very firm. And that's a challenge for me because folks don't like it. They want you to be in your place and they want you to fit in and walk to the beat of their drum and do it their way. And Sophia has never been that. And it can sometimes be very daunting, right? Not to be taken so seriously. If we put on different events and sometimes you're working on certain pressures. And if I have, especially with men, if I have to say something to a man under pressure, okay, I need this done now. It becomes a thing. Oh, she's rude. No, I just need it done. But as a woman, speaking up and leading, you get pigeonholed to wanting to act a certain way, be a certain way, and that doesn't work for me. I don't have a girly voice. I am not a little dainty girl. I am Sophia, right? And that is, for me, I find the more challenging for folks to accept you and not place you in this model or mold that they feel a woman should be or how we should be. And sometimes being that woman might not necessarily always get that support from other women, right? Because again, I am outside of the norm of what society feels or saying how we should respond and who we should be. Does that make sense in terms of my challenge? Because that's the one that really tweaks me.
Mhm. Donna, does that make sense to you? You're a woman, and I'm sure you have had to deal with some of those same things, right? In your work.
Oh yeah, it makes absolute sense because if you're a woman of, just exactly like you're saying, you're sure of yourself, you're authentic, you're comfortable in your skin, and you walk in your power. At times it can be intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Not that you're intentionally trying to be that way, but just like what you're saying, it can be, and it is something that, to your point, women, we're still having to fight with that, like having to know your place. You can't really fully bloom to be who you are because you can be perceived in so many different ways, right? Like, oh, she got an attitude, or she's rude, or because you're confident, right? Because you're a confident part, right?
Yes. Or you get the B word, or she's all the time.
Right. So you're constantly having to be aware of your place and your tonalities and your demeanor and all these different things. So yeah,
in a
get
way that a man does not have to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In a way that a man does not have to, because as a lady, I believe in femininity, and I'm very feminine about how I carry myself. So I am aware of me, right? I'm aware of me, how I walk and how I talk, how I move. But that's with me, within me as a woman. But with me as a leader, compared to a male leader, I always have to be mindful of, don't sit this way, don't talk. If you look at constantly watching how I move. And I don't think that's a fair thing to us as women leaders.
Well, let me ask both of you. Something I'm curious about. Is the challenge coming from men, women, or both?
Both.
Both.
In Caribbean culture, it's something I fought growing up because I just came out the womb different, right? I never, as a child, I didn't do the seen and not heard. As a woman, I didn't do the seen and not heard. You always heard Sophia. I always spoke up, but I just, they say in the Caribbean we're a high power society, America low power society, right? So in the islands you have that hierarchy and there's respect that goes up the line, and you fall in line and you're supposed to act this way and do these things. I never followed the rules. I never understood it, right? I never got it. I always was that type of a person. So that is hard in itself. So now being in a leader's role, women, Caribbean women, from my experience, they hold on to that understanding. Even on Caribbean men, that's their understanding of how we should be. So when I show up different from that, it becomes a thing, right? Because culturally, that's what they know. So I get it. I get it from both ends.
And Donna, you can attest to this. We know where that came from.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
when we go to Africa, wow, you talk about identity and and what you're talking about here.
When I was in Senegal, right, I went back to school as an adult learner. And when we did the trip, I was the oldest, was with Mercer University, and it's Mercer on a mission, right? And we stayed the first half in the city in the car, and then the second half, we were in the countryside where a rural poverty is real poverty. Like we haven't seen poverty like that. It's like everything you would never imagine without all of the comforts that we are used to here in the States. I went without, right? And when I lived in the village, because I wanted the full experience. So the men, the younger men, the boys, and the young girls, they would go to the river to catch the water, right? The young men early in the morning will go to the field, and the family there was onions with this thing, and they would dig the onions. The young women would stay at home and they do the cooking. But I was considered older, right, of my group. So they treated me like an older woman. So I get to sit back and not do anything because of the hierarchy respect. But everyone had that they would line up to do. But I asked to be able to, because I wanted to go to the field and I wanted to have the whole experience of it all. But I watched how culturally it was all set up, right? And everyone just fell in line with how it would go. Now, me personally, I would not survive because but I'm just saying. I just watched that life as it unfolded, and we think that we're so far removed, but traditionally from that African culture into our Caribbean culture, there's so many similarities of how we are as a people. So
Mhm.
many.
Yeah, we often say that now we understand why we behave a certain way in Jamaica. And I'm sure the same thing applies to Barbados. All right, Dr. Dunn, let's keep moving because we have so much more to talk about.
Wow. Yeah. So, we're talking about our woman empowerment and
Yes.
and definitely wanting to mentor or younger generation. So, of course, beyond, the broader community, your heart is especially focused on women's empowerment, right? So we're gonna talk about, we're gonna explore the work that you do. So within the UBiG-WE Foundation, it's creating pathways for young women, right? And the ages is between 18 and 35 through your mentorship and education, access of resources, and just all about the empowerment. But what inspired this vision, and what transformation have you witnessed amongst the young, the well, actually both young and the older women that you've supported?
Okay, so the We Foundation, right? WE, Women's Empowerment, the name itself, we. UBiG is United Barbadians because we're united. And we wanted the we to show that togetherness, the closeness of it. We're going to try to tell this story short, but I am one of three girls. And my grandmother raised us to say, you three rule in one belly, right? And we always had to know how to move in unity and be there for each other and have each other's back. And we are all grown women today living our own individual lives, and we still move as one. We're still in that unity. And I think that it's important for women to have that. There's so much out here in life that women go up against. In my professional life, in the work that I do outside of UBiG, I also work with women, and I see the devastation, the lack of not knowing, the lack of not knowing where to get it, how to get it, um, not knowing how to survive relationships, being caught up in broken relationships, trying to get over the traumas and all those different things that affect you. I will not do myself justice in life of not molding together what I have with my sisters and pouring it into that we foundation and helping young sisters up to let them know that they too they can move and they can succeed in life. I have one of my favorite stories, one of my young ladies that have come through my program that is now running her own. She has a vegan skincare cosmetics line, right? She has gotten to that point of believing in herself and stepping out on the limb and taking on the challenges and now marketing and pushing her vegan line. I've seen mothers mend their relationship with their kids. I've seen women navigate out of domestic violence relationships and become empowered in their own life and going back to school. Things as small as getting their driver's license, learning to drive. Take your independence, get your life in your hand. I teach you to become the driver in your life. You know, sometimes again we follow a lot of what society say or what people tell us that we should be. I am a child of a teenage mother. I was told I would be a teenage mother, right? There was not much expectation in terms of my success. I sit in front of you today with a master's degree, right? And I did not have kids as a teenager. I had my kids in my 20s. I'm still wondering why I did that, but that's another story. These two adult kids right now doing their own thing. Um, it's we have to again become the drivers in our lives. And I don't know if I'd say this. This career is not a choice. I was chosen. I was chosen. I remember when folks said to me, "What are you doing? You have a master's. Why are you not out here pursuing careers that would make you, big money? Social work is not where the money is." I live a very wealthy and healthy life without having that big check because what the work does when I see the impact and see the change in someone else's life, it's the biggest part about it all, right? Um, I know what it is to be a scared girl alone and not having direction, not knowing what you're going to do, how you're going to get there. And so many people along the way was planted and planted for me. I just have to keep doing it. And that's throughout everything that I do, that's how it lines up for me. And with the We Foundation, it is very important. Though between 18 and 35, that's a very critical age for women. Very critical age for women. And we got to catch them there and mold them. And that's why we chose that age group.
Yeah, very, very important. Very important. As I'm listening to you, and there could be a woman between that age group who's listening right now. And how can that woman join and become a part of the foundation and get support from the foundation?
On our website for the We Foundation, on our website, UBiG246.org. That's UBIG246.org. There's the link for our Women's Empowerment Foundation. And on that link, we have different resources that's available that you can go on, sign up, get information. There's a job form you can complete, sign that up, and we reach out to you and help you where you need your help get you the resources for what you would need, and put you into our motherhood program and grow it from there. Again, that's UBIG246.org. UBIG246.org. Just so we get it clear.
Right. UBiG246.org. Right. So Sophia, you're a certified life coach. And as a certified life coach, you guide women, help them to rewrite their stories and just to rise to their full potential. But as you and I, we know how life is, right? There are all kinds of barriers out there. And we talk about challenges that women face in leadership position. But now let's take it away from leadership positions. But not all women are in leadership positions. What are some of the common barriers you see women facing as they try to work to rise to their potential, their full potential? What are some of the barriers they have to overcome?
The biggest barrier is imposter syndrome. Is what I see a lot of, right? A lot, again, culturally, women, there's this psychological thing that we do to women that don't allow them to really believe in themselves and who they are and what they can do. So a lot of times when they're in position and they're doing things, they doubt that they deserve to be there. And they can sometimes even self-sabotage because they don't have the confidence to own that space, right? Because we're told again where what a place should be, and it does not always align with our career choices or ambitions and who we are as a woman, even in relationship. And that imposter syndrome can be a really big blocker. I see that a lot. Not having enough confidence in who you are and owning it. Own it.
Wow. Self-doubt, lack of confidence. How do you overcome something like that?
It takes work, and it's life. Life's a journey, right? It's not something we do overnight, but journaling is really good, right? And that saying, they say, fake it till you make it, that's real, You fake it till you make it. Mirror work is really good to help build that up. Affirmations, talking to yourself, pouring into yourself. I sometimes advise women to just make a list. Make a list of everything great about you. And that is very hard for women to do, because we feel like when we list our greatest attributes that we're bragging, we're being boastful. And we are taught as women not to do that. Right? We are taught as women not to do that. Oh, you conceited. No, you should know that you have a beautiful smile. Right? You should know that you're really great at technology. Whatever it is, you should own that and be proud of it, right? And walk in it. It's yours. But we downplay a lot of who we are all the time. And that's why when we are asked to step into whatever our rise is, we doubt, like, is this for me? Even when we meet that great guy and we're like, oh, I'm so in love. Does he really love me? I don't really think so. And we doubt ourselves because we're not bold in that, celebrating who we are and claiming it.
Wow. And it's just, I think also it seems like society wise, there's so many standards that's placed on women. Like it's almost like we're being groomed to be more fake than accepting our natural state. It's like you gotta have the certain hair, you gotta have the
The
certain
look.
eyelash,
The
the
look.
look, the body shape, there
Mhm.
is so much. It's almost like, woman, we're being placed in a place where you're like you're in competition with yourself and you don't even
Yeah.
know why.
And I think, and we like, I remember once a young lady told me, she said, "You're so loud." I said, "Yes, I am." Yes, I am. Because she thought that that would bring me down, right? Because society says as a woman, I'm supposed to be something outside of who I am. No, I'm loud. I am bold. I am proud, and it's okay.
Hmm.
When we we're not sheep, right? We don't need to be led by a shepherd, and we tend to, I call it sheeples, right? Um, we follow societal norms and we try to fit in, and that is creates a lot of self-doubt because even like we have social media now, and to your point, Dr. Thompson, when you're seeing these images, right, and you're trying to fit into all these different images, the hair, the makeup, the lashes, the all of that, and it's an extra pressure, and
Mm.
you're trying to fit into that and you don't even know who you are,
Hmm.
right? You don't know who
Trying to
you are.
fit into something that won't serve you well anyway.
Right. Yes. Yes. You got to know who you are. You got to really sit with you and know who you are. And
Mm.
I would preach that to the mountaintops. Sit with you. And it took some years of Sophia sitting with Sophia because I fought and struggled for a long time accepting who I was. Because again, I was different from the masses, right? And I had to come to terms with that and accept that. And in doing so has allowed me to blossom into me. And I love it. Wouldn't go
Mm.
back.
You had your moments of internal struggle, trying to look in the mirror and say, "This is who I am."
Yes, yes. Because for a while, I mean, you start to question, wait a minute, I'm not like all the girls. I'm not going in that line. Right? Something must be wrong. You start thinking, but then you have to be, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be in that line. That's not for me.
Uh,
When I was growing up, my hair was really short, right? And we had to wear ribbons to school
mm,
because we wore a school uniform. And my grandmother had to get the safety pin and pin the ribbon on my hair, right? So imagine you're growing up and then everyone is aspiring to the long hair era, right? But your hair is short. And now you're thinking something's wrong with you. No, you're okay. You got short hair. It's fine. It's your hair. You accept that, you embrace that. Whatever your thing is, you embrace it and love on it, and it's gonna blossom out, right?
mm,
Everyone, I tell my students when I taught eighth grade social studies, and I would say this: everyone is not built for the college route, right? Some of us are gonna be makeup artists and hairstylists, and we are creators and we're creative. So we get a sense of self-doubt. Oh, everyone is going to college and I'm not going to college. If we would stop doing that to people, let embrace who you are, your skill sets, your smile, your physical attributes, whatever it is, celebrate that and own it. Is how I see it.
mm.
As a woman who is very confident about me, right? I am never the woman to be, I'm so confident about me, that means something is wrong with you. No, we all can share this confident space. That's how I see it.
Great point. Great point. Because often, if people see you advancing and growing and becoming a stronger you, they think it's taking away something from them, and that is
Yeah.
not the case. In fact, that should be encouragement. You're setting an example, so that
Hmm.
is empowerment right there. If I understand what empowerment is, all right, Dr. Dunn, let's talk a little bit about mentorship. And I know you have a question for Sophia about mentorship.
Yeah, so of course we're talking about this and we see that, one of your big things of course is mentorship, right? And that just seems to be the common theme in everything that you're doing and you're living by. Um but I wanted to ask you, why is mentorship so critical for the next generation of women? And how can more of us step up as mentors, even if we're not necessarily assigned to be mentor, but even just in our living, how can we embrace those things?
I think that we are all mentors, right? Um, like I teach my young ladies sometimes. Okay, let me try it, do it one more another way. As young women, a lot of us don't have, we suffer in silence. Let me put it that way. We might not have different leaders, guidance, mentors in different areas in our lives, and we won't speak up about it, right? I remember early working at in my professional job, a young lady started to work with me, and she's about the age of my daughter. And she bonded with me, and she told me she moved here from Minneapolis, and her mom had a strained relationship. And there were certain questions and things she needed to know as a young lady that she didn't get from her mom, that she would ask me about, and we would have those conversations. And this is before I even started women's empowerment, right? In
Hmm.
mentorship. And this is some of the things that led to that. And in guiding her and seeing the need for it, um, it's out there. And I would tell my ladies now, you look for someone. I always look for ladies that carried something about them that I like, and I watch them and I model myself after them. So in today's world, and we're helping young ladies, even if you're not signed up in a program, which is great. I'm always open for mentors to come in and mentor my ladies. But just how we carry ourselves in our day-to-day being, you're mentoring somebody. Somebody is watching you. My literature teacher, Miss Webster, when I was at Ellerslie Secondary in Barbados. She came to school in high heels every day, and she wore skirts. And I guess she rolled her hair with the big rollers. And she had the big roller, and it was always set. And she wore red lipstick. She walked into class, and I was, I want to be Miss Webster. So I wear red lipstick, and I only like to wear dresses, and I always sashay around. Just watching Miss Webster. So someone is always watching you. Someone is always watching you. And I think that that's why we should be mindful of how we carry ourselves, what we
Mhm.
say, what we do, and how we treat others. Someone is always watching you.
Someone is always watching. Are you wearing your colors from your country?
Always.
I,
Always.
you
I
know, I
represent Barbados. Yeah.
mean, she wear Barbados. She's
That's
wearing
good.
Barbados. Awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very patriotic. And but one thing I noticed, even though you're so patriotic, you support other countries as well.
Hmm.
It's not just Barbados. Yes, it's important.
No.
It's number one, but it's not the only one.
You
You
know, that's the same thing that I say about being a confident woman and then being able to share the space with other women. Loving Barbados, I can love Jamaica and I can love St. Kitts, right? I love Bermuda. Ooh, I love me some Bermuda. I think that we're one CARICOM, right?
hmm
And I take a lot from our Prime Minister Mia Mottley, and she has a big thing about us supporting each other as CARICOM nations, and we need each other. We need each other.
Hmm.
And out here, living abroad, we need each other more. We need each other more on so many different levels. And the UBiG Foundation is not open to Barbadian women. It's open to Caribbean women living here in Georgia.
What
All
about
right.
us
You
in
all need
Georgia?
to know how to get our light bill paid and where the resources is to find that. Hit
So,
me up. It's out there.
so Georgia is the thing. Can you live outside of Georgia?
Well, you can because we're online and you can get resources
Okay,
online that way. But a lot of our resources pertain to things here in Georgia,
in
right?
Georgia. Right.
So it really the transformation coaching and stuff, you can follow those theories online on your own. You can follow those. But resources in terms of we might have like networking events or stuff like that listed, or if there's housing, like right now, DeKalb is offering some great help with housing. We're about to upload that to our website so you can know where to go and how to go and where to get some help with those type of things that is out there to help strengthen you as you're going. We all Maslow hierarchy of needs is real, right? So we try to address that as much as possible. And when it comes to our Caribbean people, no one stands alone. We need each other's support in every which way out here today. So I will always continue to support my brothers and sisters. I enjoy other cultures. Love it.
You know, individually, we're stronger with a stronger Caribbean community.
Yes.
I believe. I believe. All right, let's talk a little bit about DFCS Motherhood Program. And we want you to break that down for us, explain
Say
and
that
how
again. I didn't hear you.
the DFCS Motherhood Program.
Oh, okay.
That's a big piece of your work, right?
Yes.
So let's break that down for us. Let's bring us on
Okay.
board.
So that is the DFACS
Mhm,
motherhood program, right? And that one is called Mothers Who Are Thriving.
mhm,
And we are in our fourth year with that program. Um, these are mothers who could or may not. You can have a defects case or not have a defects case. But the aim is to keep you from getting a defects case, right? And if you have one, we're going to train you to help you to get out of it and not come back. And a lot of times you find women with defects cases, not because they're poor parents, but because they don't have the resources. So our program aims to set them up with the resources and get them together. But we do a lot of trauma informed coaching, right? And we get to the root of the traumas and what's blocking you and causing you to keep repeating certain behaviors in your life that's making you like you're spinning in life like the rabbit on the wheel. So I do a lot of coaching in that area. We look at your ACE score and break that down and just really get to the root and put the women on the journey of healing because our program is 12 weeks. You're not healed in 12 weeks, right? But you learn the tools to continue to go on. And once part of the program, you're always part of the program. So you can always come back. We have a spring session and we have a fall session. So you can come back in any session that you choose if you feel you're missing something there. One of the things we teach there is victim mentality, how to overcome that and
mhm.
not live your life expecting to be broken at all times. Oh, it always happens to me. You know, life is never going to get better. To just break that train of thought, and that takes some work. Pulls a lot, pulls a lot.
Hmm.
But again, it's part of who I am to want to, be there.
Right. Wow. So in your program, Sophia, it's a lot of women they struggle to balance family life and career and things, the things have changed from what they were how many years ago. So of course we have a lot more women in the workforce and trying to grow, right? But
Mhm.
from your experience, what practical advice could you share with some of our mothers who they want to thrive and come out of that survival mentality and phase in their life?
You have to learn how to feed your psychological needs first, right? As mothers, no matter what level we are in life, we tend to sacrifice who we are as person and just live to be mother. We don't learn to put the mask on our face first. We're constantly putting the mask on our kids and getting the kids together and rid of the kids, and we're not paying attention to self. If we love and nurture ourselves, right, and stay true to who we are as a woman first, it will allow us to keep that balance and thrive in that motherhood, whether you choose to be an at-home mom, a career mom. You have to learn to be Sophia and then be mom. We always want to start being mom first. Society, again, teaches us that that's what we're supposed to be. I've heard so many women say in my program, I'll go hungry first and make sure my kids eat. The last piece of bread is for my kids. No, you are teaching your kids not even how to respect you, because how are you going to not feed you and feed me? If you have a piece of bread, you better learn how to break it and give the kid peace, and you eat peace. Because kids learn from what we do, not what we say, right? And self-sacrificing, that's never a good thing. And we got to learn to really, really be a woman, remain the woman that you are, then be mother. It will allow you to be a better mother. Your kids will love you. They will support you even more when they see how you love you, because it will teach them how to love them.
Very
So
profound.
people get confused when they're struggling with self-love.
Powerful. Just this morning, Donna, we're having a conversation about our mother, right? Our mothers. And how did they achieve what they achieve? It's just amazing. It's amazing, but their commitment and their loyalty and in sharing and just setting an example. True. And I'm not even sure in an intentional way, but just by how they live, how they live their lives. Because and they live a certain way because of commitment, because they had responsibilities. And if they didn't take care of it and do it, there's no one else to do it. So, your situation sometimes forces you to act a certain way, and they certainly did it. So appreciate you sharing that, Sophia, the importance of not just talking, but how you walk. How you walk, because our children, they're paying attention.
Very much so.
Yeah. So you have been recognized, Sophie, you've been recognized in different media outlets, okay? But beyond the recognition, let's talk a little bit about legacy. And what is it? What is that legacy that you want to leave behind and let's talk about for women and the Caribbean community, because I know those two are big for you.
I haven't given much thought to that, Dr. Laxley. The legacy makes me feel like, whoa, like there's so much behind me. I'm not getting started. My legacy, I'm still 25 in my head. I don't know. But I think again, heritage, holding on to our heritage and our culture. I hope I leave that imprint, right, of how important that is to keep that going, right? To how my grandmother say the old Chinese proverb, don't give a man. I don't want to be that person to give a man a fish and feed him for the day, but to teach how to fish and feed for a lifetime. I hope that my teachings feed someone for a lifetime and have that impact, not just in a moment, but that it has an impact, that it passes on throughout generations, and we don't stop giving and we don't give up on each other. That would be it. Legacy. What a word. Legacies. I don't know. That's an old people when they have the legacy. It's like long legacy. 25.
I don't know why I thought she was going to say she's 19. she stretched her age to 25.
Yeah, but I want to be a certain way legal. 25 is it. I want to be able to drink the drink. I'm still Caribbean from Barbados, the land of rum.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
But you know, we're talking about our legacy and and all the wonderful things that we're still working on, because we're young and we're in our 20s.
Yes.
We're definitely in our 20s. So because we're in our 20s, we're young women, right? We're not on the other end.
No.
If we have a young woman that is listening to us tonight, and she's in a space where she's doubting herself, her self-worth, or just beating up herself with her life journey, what is one message you would want to share with that young woman for her to hold on to?
You're not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone, right? Sometimes if you're in a dark space, I never advise you to ride that out by yourself, right?
Mhm.
I think you should have someone to talk to. Find someone to talk to. Friend, sister, foe, pastor, preacher, coach, anyone, but someone to talk to. But and more so if that doesn't work or there's not one immediately, write. I really think writing it out, and always write out. First, start with your list. Write a list of all the great things about you and really sit with it. And it starts to lift you up. And sometimes it's really hard when you come along and everyone around you can tell you or did something negative, right? Or say something negative. It's really easy to slip into that darkness and not to be able to see who you are, right? And that's why I feel like you need someone to talk to. But I always say, start with you and the mirror. Start with you in the mirror. And sometimes just I love you is good enough, over and over again. And the more you see it, the more you believe it, and the more you'll start to find more good things about you. Like, young lady, I'll tell you this right now if you're looking. Look real here. You see this nose? We'll talk about it. Growing up, I was teased. And now I love it because it's my nose, right? At some point I thought about getting a nose job or something. And I share this because it's so important of growing into who you are. So when you're looking for something, you can easily look and find whatever you might feel is your not positive. But this one right here makes me so different and unique, right? So that's how I see her now. So look for what your thing is. Find your thing and work with that. And that's just one step out the door. But you have to get with someone to talk to. It is important. Do not suffer in silence. Too many of us suffer in silence.
Wow, that's a great conversation to have with that young lady. Look in the mirror and acknowledge who you are and accept who you are, because you are significant.
Yes, you are.
Value, right? So important, Donald.
Yeah.
And self-doubt is a disease.
It is.
It is. And it, too many young people and older people are suffering from that disease. So I think, as Sophia, as you suggested, I think it's great advice. We must confront who we are, and we're not perfect. We're not meant to be. We're not. But guess what? We are of value, all of us. We have something to offer. So we must acknowledge and recognize that. Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, Sophia, in looking ahead, and 5 years from now, with your work with United Barbadians in Georgia and the WE Foundation, your broader mission and your vision for women empowerment. What are you hoping for 5 years from now?
I am hoping that in 5 years that we are a pillar of the community, right? Um, in my work, again, we have the Jewish, I don't want to, the Jewish Center, I can't remember their full name, that serves within the Jewish community in a similar capacity. And they help out with finding jobs and so on and so forth. And then there is the African Children Fund does a phenomenal job in giving back and taking care of the community. And I hope that UBiG can be that Caribbean organization that is
Mm,
functioning on such a level. We as Caribbean folks have to learn to take up space in all spaces, and UBiG intends to do so, right? To be the pillar of the community where we are able to give back and help out people of all Caribbean backgrounds and uplifting women in a stronger position where we're funneling the funds to really uplift women, get women on their feet, help women in terms of finding housing, being able to get your first month's rent paid, those type of issues, getting set up, getting your kids daycare, those kind of things. We really want to strengthen our muscles in that area. So in the next 5 years, that's where we hope to be. UBiG, we do have a good time now. We celebrate and we enjoy life, but we're very serious about the give back, right? And we are able. We just had our scholarship gala last year, and we started out with 2 scholarships, and we're hoping that we build up and we get that donations that we can do more scholarships as we move forward and move up and moving ahead. And we hope to strengthen in all those areas.
mm. What is the Barbadian community like here in Georgia in terms of numbers?
Georgia have about, I believe, over 6,000, just over 6,000 Barbadians in Georgia, right? And that's the whole of Georgia. And when you look at it, um, we we're proud people, right? We're very stush people. So you don't see us all walking around in colors, but we're here. A couple of weeks coming up, we're gonna have a karaoke night, and we're getting together and having a good time, and eating some good Bajan food. You must come out once with us, Dr. Stephen. We have our gala coming up in November. It's a very nice celebration. I invite you both to come out and
All right.
celebrate with us, get a
We'll
taste
be
of the
there.
culture.
We'll be there.
Yes.
We'll be there for sure. That I'm volunteering. That I'm-
That's okay. That's all right. I'm very open to learning about. I'm not even gonna say like other culture. It's just an extension of our Caribbean culture. So
Yes, exactly. Yep. Um, we say Aki and you say Guinea, but we're eating the same fruit, right?
right.
same,
Yeah,
same,
it's the
Mm,
culture.
same thing, different name.
mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. All right, we got to close out here, Donna. You have one more question for
Oh
Sophie?
wow, yeah, I didn't even notice, yeah, the
Mhm.
timing. Okay, so oh my gosh, you've shared so much with us, right? But I know we have to kind of wrap it up because
Mhm.
it's winding down. But just in one sentence, how would you define empowerment? Not as a concept, so to speak, but as a lived experience.
As a lived experience, being your authentic self.
Hmm.
Being
Mhm.
your authentic self for me is empowering.
Mhm.
It takes so much courage to
So,
stand in your truth.
We're living in a time when some people are afraid to say, "This is who I am."
Yes,
you
so
know,
much so. And I
it's,
see it on a daily basis. It to the point that sometimes people will say, "Oh, you're so crazy," because you're being yourself. No, I'm okay. I'm really normal. This is me. I'm just not following the masses. So to you, it must be abnormal. So you associate it with, "Oh, you're crazy." But being your authentic self, that's the most empowering thing anyone could ever be in this lifetime.
right. Be who you are
Who
and
you
be
are in
proud of
whatever
who you are.
space it is.
Yeah. All right.
Back to you,
So,
Doc.
Sophie, as we get ready to draw down to wrap up, is there anything else you want to share with us? Any final thoughts?
Thank you for having me. This was a great time having the conversation and sharing with you guys. I just want to let you guys know that United Barbadians in Georgia is here and we're growing. We invite everyone to come out and learn about who we are. We're a group of 6 passionate women. They're all as passionate as I am, loving on our island and sharing our heritage. We have a couple of things coming up. We're about to go to Barbados in October on a service trip. We are going to be giving back to one of our clinics there that we have adopted. That trip is October 9th to 14th. You can get more information on our website. Please check it out. And then November 15th, we celebrate Barbados' independence. And I would love for you guys to come out and celebrate with us and learn more about what we Bajans do. And this way you'll learn the difference between Bajan and Barbadian.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll
I'm
teach you
looking
all
forward.
that.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Thanks for that, Sophie. Just want to say thank you for accepting the invitation and for showing up on our show tonight. We are better off for that. We learned much tonight. From your early journey, and you're talking about your grandmother and how important role she played in your life. To this day, you model yourself from so much of what you learned from her. And you talked about the importance of setting an example, and she started that for you. She set some examples for you, and those examples is staying with you to this day, made you into who you are. So we appreciate you for that. Now, what I would like, and I hope that we'll take away from the conversation we've had with you tonight, is very simple, but I believe profound. And it's that empowerment is not something we wait to be given. You talked about empowerment is just being your authentic self. So it is something that we rise into together as a people. Your story reminds us that mentorship, advocacy, and community are not some luxurious, out of sight things. They are necessities for a generation that longs to thrive and just not survive. So we learned that through our conversation tonight. So as we close, and Donna, you're going to close up, I just want to say this. This is something I want to leave with anyone who will be listening to this program. That may we be inspired to lead with the same intentionality and to serve with the same compassion and to create legacies that lift others higher, not just us. And that's what I want to say. So, Sophia, thank you for your courage, your leadership, and your unwavering commitment to making empowerment a lived experience. Your WE Foundation that's what it's all about, and that is what it's doing. So, Dr. Donna, I'll pass it to you.
All right. So Sophia, thank you so much for coming on this evening. Definitely, you have shared so much with us, and I'm definitely extending another invite for you to come back because there's so much value in what you're doing, the work that you're doing, and it's so important for our younger young ladies growing up to be nurtured in the right way, right? Because we see social
Yeah.
media is kind of raising our kids, in a lot of ways.
Okay, yes.
So definitely want to invite you to come back to, so we can speak on this topic even more. But, once again, kudos to the work that you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing. And just like you said, you shared with us, someone is always watching what you're doing, and you're a living example of what you're doing, and you're living your legacy. So, that is awesome. And we will come out and celebrate with you as well. So thank you for your invite. So definitely come out and celebrate with you. But for our audience, thank you for joining us this Thursday evening. We hope that you found this episode very enlightening and you walk away with something that was empowering, that can, potentially change your life, right? Or even if you're in a stuck place right now, something resonated with you where you can make that change. And we do not take your time for granted. So we are happy that you joined us. But of course, like always, tomorrow is Friday. So we charge you to go out there tomorrow and do one act of kindness. Find someone that you do not know and do something kind for that individual. So from A Collision with Purpose, we're asking you to go out there and share love and kindness and just let it become infectious, right? And do have a safe and wonderful Friday and the remainder of the weekend. It is the holiday weekend, so definitely be safe out there and have a wonderful Thursday evening.
Thank you.
Step into the spotlight. Couple lights on, cameras roll. Time to break the mold. No more silence, every story's gotta be told. Truth in the air, no filter, no disguise. Real talk, real change. We open up your eyes. We got the voices that are changing the game. Fearless, unchained, calling our names. From the struggles to the rise, we expose, we ignite. No topic too deep when you step in the light. We got the answers, spotlight at your